Meet the almighty raccoon god. It might not actually be a raccoon, but it rhymes with Linoone. It has jolly nature and is IV bred to have perfect speed and attack and EV trained in a very specific way. This creature is ready to humiliate the Elite Four and the champion of Pokemon Emerald. Now for the starting moveset. Double Team, Flail, Belly Drum, and Substitute. Double Team might seem cheesy, increasing our evasiveness, but it's only used for the first trainer. We're holding the item Bright Powder, which slightly reduces the accuracy of opposing moves. Let's get started. Sydney's Mightyena usually goes for Sand Attack first, but we'll go for an attack if there's a 100% chance that his moves knock us out. And that is why we make him miss by using Bright Powder. And our raccoon has a 10% chance to dodge here. After a few tries, we're able to set up our first double team, further increasing our dodge chance to around 40% with the Bright Powder. Since we need to dodge a few more moves during this fight, I set up another double team, giving us a rough 55% dodge chance. The final setup is to use an X speed to outspeed Mightyena, but also the incoming Shiftry and Absol. We then set up Belly Drum and Substitute until we have 1 HP by dodging a couple more times. Now we'll be able to one-hit KO Mightyena with Flail, which does more damage the less HP you have, up to 200 base damage at around 4% HP or less. With the same type as attack bonus, we get another 50% damage to this move, effectively making it a 300 power move with +6 increase to our attack stat. This Mightyena has more than twice our level, but goes down in one hit and it's not even super effective. Next up is Shiftry. And unfortunately, since we leveled up, our current HP has gone over the 4% mark, making our Flail only have 150 power. This is not enough to one-hit KO Shiftry without a crit. So here we have to hope he misses and finish him off with a 2-hit KO. So Shiftry goes down after healing with another Flail. Cacturne has a chance to be knocked out in one hit, but in case he survives, we have to hope for another miss. We luckily take out Cacturne in one hit, and here comes Crawdaunt. And it's another 2-hit KO. Absol is also a 2-hit KO, but if we could somehow get back to low HP, then they're both in range for a 1-hit KO. So we use a Hyper Potion to get back to full, hoping for a last miss from Crawdaunt, followed by 4 substitutes. However, he ended up missing a whole bunch of times, so I had to wait for him to knock my sub out so I wouldn't run out of Flail PP. Finally, we're able to sub for the last time, and we sweep the Crawdaunt, and here comes Absol that suddenly decided to ruin my recording by surviving, but we luckily had our sub, and that is it for Sydney. For Phoebe, we swap out Double Team with Shadow Ball and heal back to full health. I equip a Lucky Egg traded from Fire Red, which makes it a lot easier to win against Phoebe. You might have noticed I started the run with some XP already on the bar. And this was no coincidence, as I wanted to get to level 27 exactly when facing Banette, as it gives us a chance to one-hit KO. It also gives us level 28 for Sableye, which is the level required for a 2-hit KO with Shadow Ball. First up is Dusclops, who always goes for Protect first, allowing us to set up a substitute. Now we're untouchable, because this Dusclops only knows Shadow Punch as its only attack and status moves which won't work while we're behind a sub. So we get to set up Belly Drum and heal before starting our sweep with Shadow Ball. Next up is Banette, who can survive a Shadow Ball, but sometimes goes for Will-O-Wisp, but this time she went for Feint Attack, taking out our sub. Banette goes down after healing though, and it's time for Sableye. This is her only Pokemon that won't be super effectively hit by Shadow Ball, but by being level 28, we have a chance to take it out before it hits us, as it sometimes goes for Double Team on the first turn, which happens here, and we are lucky enough to connect the second Shadow Ball. Next up is Banette, who this time will be taken out in one hit. And lastly, we have Dusclops, who this time has Earthquake, Ice Beam, and Rock Slide for attacks that can hit us, but none of those will one-hit KO. We end up getting a crit here, but that would not have mattered unless they got a crit themselves. Phoebe is down and it's time for Glacia. We heal back up and swap our Lucky Egg with a Silk Scarf before starting the next battle. Now that there are no more ghost types and nothing resists normal type attacks, we're going back to the Flail strategy. Glacia loves to use Hail, and this should completely ruin our strategy. Celio comes in first and we set up Belly Drum as she goes for Hail. We go for the sub, and now the problem is our HP is too low for another sub, but our HP will be too high to take out all her Pokemon. However, with Silk Scarf we get just enough damage to be able to knock out Celio. Hail will take us out before it stops, but because we level up, we're able to heal back enough to barely stay alive and keeping our Flail strong. So the hail actually helps us more than it helps her, which is absolutely insane. Celio goes down to Flail and it's time for Glalie. Watch how our raccoon is fighting for her life to stay alive from the hail simply by leveling up as we knock out Glalie with another one-hit KO. Celio comes in and we one-hit KO it with a Flail. This time we won't level up, but hail stops just at the right moment, enabling us to continue the sweep. Glalie goes down. After leveling up, our Flail is weaker, but it doesn't matter. Even the Walrus, at level 53, goes down to Flail, and Linoone is closing in on the champion. Drake is up next, and here we are implementing a new strategy. We swap out Shadow Ball for Attract, which has a 50% chance of making the opponent fall in love each turn if they're of opposite gender. We use this to set up a free X speed to outspeed Flygon and Salamence. Since our Linoone is female, we can exploit this here. Shelgon almost always goes for Protect, and we set up our sub. We now use Attract, hoping for him to miss at least once so we can set up our X speed and Belly Drum. Shelgon is attracted to our beautiful substitute and we set up X speed, but he takes it out with a double edge. My second attempt at seduction fails as Shelgon realized he got catfished, so we use Belly Drum and pray he will show mercy to an underleveled raccoon dog with low HP. He falls for the bait once again and it's finally over. Linoone one-shots Shelgon, one-shots Altaria, one-shots Kingdra, one-shots Flygon, and Salamence unfortunately reduces our attack with Intimidate, so we're not able to take him out. Just kidding. Even at +5 and Flail only being at 150 power, we still take out the Salamence in a one-hit KO. Finally, we come to the champion Wallace. We're currently at level 36 and all seems to go our way, but the problem I ran into while testing was that for the double substitute and belly drum to work, our HP must be at a number that can't be divided by 4. Belly drum takes up 50% of our max health and substitute 25%, but 2 substitute and a belly drum would add up to a 100%, meaning it should kill us. However, the calculation rounds down to the nearest number in cases where dividing it would create a decimal. This is how we're able to survive at 1 or 2 HP. But here we have 116 HP, meaning we can't use the final substitute, which is why I EV trained the HP so that I could remove an HP stat by using the Pomek Berry to get us to 115 HP. We also didn't want too much HPVs as that would give us too much HP per level, so our Flail would get too weak. And now it's time for Wallace. Wailord sometimes uses Rain Dance, but like Mightyena it seems to go for attacks if it has a 100% chance to knock us out with an attack. So we use Attract and hope the whale has a taste for raccoon dogs, which it absolutely does. And by the time we set up Substitute and Belly Drum, Wailord has seemingly bent the knee to the raccoon god, but finally snaps out of it, allowing us to get down to low health with one last substitute. And that, my friends, is the end of Wallace. I was kinda hoping for an exciting final battle, but honestly it just got easier with each trainer. One by one they were all knocked out with Flail, and at this level we have so much max HP that our Flail stays within the range of 150 power even when leveling up a lot. And that's enough to take out everything in one hit. Even my Lodic at level 58 doesn't stand a chance against the level 39 Linoone. We started at level 20 and entered the Hall of Fame with only a level 40 Linoone. And that is how I beat the Pokemon League with a level 20 Linoone. To praise Linoone, make sure to subscribe.